Hello and welcome again to A Moment in American History, sponsored by the American Center for Political Leadership. I'm Dennis Ross, Director of the ACPL, and I hope many of you all are wearing these masks today as we continue to go through this COVID-19 crisis. But ever wonder where one of these masks ever came from? Yeah, a gas mask. And you're probably asking yourself, why do I have a gas mask? Very simple answer. My wife and I raised two boys. But the interesting thing is the gas mask was invented by an African American back in 1914. Morgan Garrett was born in 1877 in Kentucky and only had an elementary education, but he was intrigued with machines, working in a sewing machine factory in Cincinnati, moved to Cleveland, Ohio, and just had this desire to try to create an apparatus that would protect people from pollutants, from gases, and developed a safety hood. He started marketing it to various fire departments, and they started to buy it, but because he was African American, sales were not that good. People were afraid back then of buying something from an African American. So what he did is he went out and hired a white actor to pose as the inventor. He himself was the sidekick who was disguised as a Native American big mason, and he was able to sell these. But it wasn't until 1914 in Cleveland, Ohio, under Lake Erie, they were working to build a tunnel, and unfortunately they had an explosion when they hit a natural gas pocket. It was devastating, 200 feet underground. He and his brother grabbed their safety hoods, went down there, and started rescuing many of the workers. Unfortunately, again, he didn't get all the credit at the time, but he didn't stop there. You know, interestingly enough, Garrett went on to invent the traffic light that we know today. He was the first black man in Cleveland, Ohio to ever have a car. And back then, the lights were, well, you went from green to red, and there was no slowing down. So he invented the three-way traffic light. He ended up selling that to General Electric for $40,000, and in time he got credit as an American inventor for what he has done, including rescuing those souls in Cleveland, Ohio. The interesting thing about Garrett is that despite all the obstacles and despite the oppression in the society that he was living in at the time, he pursued his passion. He pursued his passion because he exhibited the American spirit, and that American spirit believes in the greater good to the exclusion of the individual. Yes, sir, Garrett Morgan was a great American and a great American hero. Thanks for joining us.